From setback to comeback, how to turn failure into fuel. Hey you, you sitting there ready to turn your life around and rise above the challenges. Let's do this. Welcome to From Setback to Comeback, how to turn failure into fuel. Buckle up, my friend, because we're about to embark on a life-changing, soul-shaking ride that's going to pick you up, dust you off, and propel you toward the dreams you were born to chase. Life can knock you down hard. Maybe you faced a failure that's left you reeling, questioning everything, a job loss that stung your pride, a business flop that drained your savings, a dream that crashed and burned before it could soar. That sting in your chest, that heaviness that keeps you up at night. I feel you. I've been there. But here's the truth that's going to set you free. Setbacks aren't the end of your story. They're the spark that ignites your comeback. Today, we're diving deep in how to take those failures, those gut punches, and turn them into rocket fuel for your success. We're not here for pity parties or giving up. We're here to rise up, to shine brighter than ever, to come back stronger, bolder, and absolutely unstoppable. Picture this, you standing tall with a fire in your heart that no failure can extinguish, chasing your goals with a confidence that says, I've been knocked down, but watch me now. That's not just a dream, it's your future, and it starts today. No more hiding, no more doubting, just pure relentless action to rebuild your life. Can you feel that fire igniting inside you? Can you sense a shift in your spirit? This is your moment to turn pain into power. Who's with me? Let's jump in and make it happen. Step one, own your setback. Listen up. Failure hurts. And pretending it doesn't is like trying to ignore a storm raging around you. It's real, it's raw, and it can feel like the world's caving in. But here's the deal, you can't move forward until you own your setback. That means facing it head on. No sugarcoating, no running away, no pretending it's all fine. Lost that job you worked so hard for, bombed that project you poured your heart into, got rejected by someone or something you believed in. Call it what it is. This isn't about wallowing in self-pity. It's about standing in your truth and saying, yeah, that happened, and I'm still here, still breathing, still ready to fight. Owning your setback takes the power away from the failure and puts it back in your hands, where it belongs. I learned this the hard way when my first business venture tanked. I poured everything into it, time, money, heart, sleepless nights, and it fell apart like a house of cards. I felt like a total loser, avoiding mirrors because I couldn't face the person staring back at me. I'd lie awake, replaying every mistake, feeling the weight of shame crushing me. But one day I'd had enough. I stopped hiding. I sat down, looked myself in the eye, and said, okay, I failed. It hurts like crazy, but it's not the end of me. That moment of brutal honesty was like a weight lifting off my chest, like the first breath of fresh air after being underwater. I heard about a chef whose restaurant shut down after a scathing review. He could have blamed the critic or quit, but instead he owned it. He admitted his mistakes, faced the pain, and used the feedback to open a new spot that's now packed every night with lines out the door. That's the power of owning your setback. Right now, I want you to think of one setback you faced, something that's been weighing you down. Say it out loud. I failed at fill in the blank, and that's okay. Maybe it's a relationship that ended, a test you flunked, or a goal you didn't hit. Grab a piece of paper or your phone and write it down. My setback is fill in the blank. Own it. It's not who you are, it's just something that happened, a chapter in your story, not the whole book. When you face it, you're already starting your comeback, taking the first step towards something bigger. Feel that shift, that's you taking your power back. Who's ready to own their setback and start their comeback? Let's do this! Step 20, learn the lesson. Every setback has a lesson, my friend, and those lessons are pure gold waiting for you to claim them. Failure isn't a dead end, it's a teacher, a tough but brilliant one showing you what works, what doesn't, and how to come back stronger. But you've got to dig for it, to look past the pain and find the wisdom. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? A question that keeps you stuck in victim mode, ask, what can I learn from this? That simple shift in mindset turns your pain into power, your failure into fuel, your heartbreak into hope. When my business failed, I was crushed, my confidence shattered. I could have stayed bitter, blaming the market or bad luck, but I chose to dig deeper. I started asking, what went wrong? What can I do better? I realized I'd rushed in without a solid plan, ignored some red flags, and didn't seek enough advice. Those lessons were tough to swallow. They stung like salt in a wound, but they made me smarter, sharper, more prepared. My next venture, I planned it like a pro, sought mentors, and built something that's thriving today. I read about an inventor who created a gadget that flopped in sales, leaving her devastated. Instead of giving up, she studied why it failed. Turns out, the design was too complicated for users. She took that lesson, simplified the product, relaunched it, and now it's a bestseller, flying off shelves. That's what learning the lesson does. It turns a stumble into a springboard. Here's how you do it. Take that setback you own. Ask yourself, what's one thing I learned from this? Maybe you learned to double check your work before submitting it, to ask for help when you're stuck, or to trust your gut when something feels off. Grab that piece of paper or your phone again and write it down. My lesson is fill in the blank. Say it out loud. Feel the power in it. That lesson is your fuel. It's the wisdom that's going to make your comeback unstoppable. Every failure is a stepping stone, a chance to grow if you're willing to learn. Try this tonight before you go to bed. Read your lesson out loud. Let it sink in. Let it remind you that you're not just surviving, you're growing. Who's ready to turn their setback into a lesson? Let's make it happen! Step 3, take action now. All right, you've owned your setback, you've learned the lesson. Now it's time to move. Failure loves to keep you stuck, replaying the past like a bad movie, whispering doubts that make you second guess yourself. But action. Action is the antidote, the spark that lights up your comeback. You don't need to have it all figured out or a perfect plan. You just need to take one bold step forward right now, using the lesson you've learned. That step is your declaration to the world and to yourself that failure doesn't define you. You're coming back, and you're coming back strong. After my business flop, I was terrified to try again. The fear of failing twice was paralyzing, like a voice in my head saying, "Why bother? You'll just mess it up." But I knew I couldn't stay stuck. So I took one small step. I signed up for a business planning course. That move got me learning new skills, connecting with mentors, and rebuilding my confidence piece by piece. It wasn't a giant leap, but it was enough to get moving, and it led to my next success. I read about a runner who missed qualifying for a big race by just seconds. She was devastated, her dreams slipping through her fingers. But instead of giving up, she took action, hired a coach, tweaked her training plan, and worked on her sprint finish. She came back the next year and won the race, crossing the finish line with tears of victory. That's the power of taking action. Here's how you make it happen. Think of one action you can take today to start your comeback, something that uses the lesson you learned. Maybe it's updating your resume to apply for a new job, reaching out to a mentor for advice, or practicing that skill you fumbled last time. Make it small but real, something you can do before the sun sets. Grab your paper or phone and write it down. My next step is fill in the blank. Say it out loud. Commit to doing it today. Action builds momentum, and momentum builds your comeback one step at a time. If you're feeling stuck, start even smaller. Maybe it's just researching one resource or writing down your next goal. The point is to move. Who's ready to take that bold step and start their comeback? Let's go. Fuel your comeback. Listen, my friend, setbacks don't get to write your story. You do. You're not here to stay down, to let failure define who you are or what you're capable of. You're here to rise up, to turn your pain into power, and to make a comeback that leaves everyone in awe, including yourself. Today, you've learned how to own your setback, learn the lesson, and take action. You're not just recovering, you're rebuilding a life that's stronger, bolder, and absolutely unstoppable. A life that shines so bright it inspires everyone around you. Picture this, you 6 months from now, standing taller, chasing your dreams with a fire that no setback can touch. That job loss, it led you to a career you love. That failed project, it taught you skills that launched your next big win. That rejection, it pushed you to believe in yourself like never before. That's not a fantasy. It's what happens when you turn failure into fuel. You're not here to settle for a life of what ifs. You're here to create a legacy, to show the world and yourself what it looks like to come back swinging. Here's your challenge, and I want you to act on it before this video ends. Grab a piece of paper or your phone. Write down your setback, the lesson you learned, and one action you're taking today to fuel your comeback. Maybe it's emailing a contact, practicing a skill, or just saying, "I'm starting now." Do it, on it, make it real. And don't stop there. Share this video with someone who needs to make their own comeback. Text it to a friend, post it online, spread the fire. Let's start a movement of comeback kings and queens who refuse to let failure win. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's keep this fire burning. You're not just coming back, you're coming back to win, to thrive, to live the life you were born for. Who's with me? Let's make it happen.